So, any additions to tonight's agenda?
The hole is not in front of my house.
It disappeared?
No, it's down here on Main Street.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it?
Other than that.
Oh, I thought they were referencing to the dip in the street.
Well, that's what you're talking about? It's not actually a hole, it's just a dip.
All right, well then I just need to write a dip on there.
Okay, anything else?
There's no garbage truck, or uses of that. But I can bring that up, so.
Okay, yeah, if you wanna do that and continue, Bill, then that's, if not, I'll take a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll move.
Larry, second. Lauren,
Oh.
second.
Yeah, I'll second.
All those in favor? Alright.
Aye.
We'll do more engineering first then, recognize some visitors.
Little construction updates. As you know, the streets were done last month, but patching will start here in a couple weeks. I think we said 2 weeks. He plans to come do patching on streets that we 100% know we're not going to do. So we have, me and Bill marked out patching a month ago, and I marked it out again today. So he plans to do that here in a couple weeks, and then still next year add some streets. I don't think we finalized what streets we want to do, but we have time to figure it out still. And then crack seal, chip seal, fog seal will still be next year, and then yeah, all streets added to the project that we'll reconstruct early next year. We can talk about that another time, I think, right, Tom?
Yeah, I think you guys have an idea, but you haven't finalized it. We can think about it over the winter and look at them again in the spring if you want, and we'll have time to add them in at that point. So we'll get about half the patching done this year, and then the other half the patching will be next year, depending on which streets you pick.
Yeah, I think we marked out 1,000 square yards of patching. We did 2,000, so we're half patching quantity. So
Good.
still have contingencies and still have patching left. So next, if there's no questions about that, anything we want to talk about? Okay, special assessment list. Final special assessment list is attached to this packet. The assessment committee met several times thoroughly went through the list, had a public meeting about it to hear some objections. We heard them and we figured them all out, and that's what they came up with, the final list there. And we just need you guys to motion to approve them, but once it is approved, it'll be sent to the county and added to the tax rolls.
Did you get those few we had questions on when you and I were visiting, taken care of?
Yeah, there's Randy Miller.
We were talking about his place right here, right north of Birch, right there. That's
Right.
65 feet.
Yeah.
So me, Joel, Jeff, I mean, I think they all agreed that this 65 was a fair. It's right away to right away. So I think they all agreed on sticking with the 65 feet and it's fair. That's only what is exposed to the street. So 65 from right away to right away is what he came out to being.
And I don't really know what his complaint was, but I mean, you guys understand we're going from right to right. I mean, it's just a street, basically.
Is that what, like, this Second Avenue, is that like 65 feet up here?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Because what he was measuring was from,
Street width, the
Yeah.
pavement to pavement probably. I don't think he has curb and gutter, so he's going probably the pavement
and he said
width.
it's not 65.
So we're going from right away to right away, so that's including boulevard and grass, whatever. So it's not street width, it's whole city width essentially, what is exposed to the city road here on Second.
Okay. And then what about this one right, where is it? Beatrice Miller showed us 20 feet.
Yep, right here, 22
Yours
feet.
shows 62. Well, I had to even show that.
I think we looked at that.
Eders Miller shows, Norman J. and Eders Miller show 22 feet, but the rest of the lot
is under Kyle Miller's name, his son.
Okay.
So why that is, I have no idea.
So
When they
his,
added on or something.
his would be in here, but like.
Kyle, yes, it's in there and everything,
No
and
question, there's no footage.
Oh,
of
yep,
this, but-
yep, so this is 84, this is, or, no, this is included, so this is an old, this is the
Okay.
updated one, this is old, so yeah, we were actually looking at this map before this meeting, and then I brought up this map and kind of, the 70, or 82 is what it's missing right there, so, or, no,
Okay.
it's moved over, and it's 76 and 22,
Yep.
so.
These guys were about as thorough as any assessment committee I've ever worked with, so they did a damn good job.
So they caught this error during the meeting, and then we able to contact the
Okay.
county and get their parcel.
That's all I have.
Yeah, was there any other?
One question that I had, and Lauren explained it to me pretty well, but so we can have it on camera too. Everything that's gonna be assessed to the city,
Yep,
how does that work? I mean, we're telling these people, this was my question, I guess, and I've had a few people ask,
yep.
that they're getting assessed on their property now. That's not including everything that the city's gonna get assessed, and that's essentially going back to them too?
The city's getting assessed for their parcels also, just like everybody else.
Mhm.
So the city's getting an assessment, they own the property. The city ever sells the property down the road, that assessment is still there. These assessments are attached to the parcel, not to the individual. So if an individual's there and moves, that assessment is still there. That's why assessment committees typically assess the city parcels the
Okay,
same as.
so they're gonna see another line on their taxes for that then? Is
No, that would go back to the actual city, that assessment would come to the city. The city would have to pay for that out of their mills
Okay.
or budget.
So everything within the boundary, whether it's city or not. So like the park over. or
Everything that the
ball
assess,
line.
everything that the assessment committee, put an assessment on, not everything in the city limits is assessed, but everything that the assessment committee went through and put an assessment on.
That's kind of why, for one reason, we didn't go down that ballpark road, just to keep all that out.
We were happy to see that too, because that's a big area there. That's,
And I guess from what I was told, if we did assess Mike Martin, we would have to include the ball down, have to. Because you can't pick and choose down the road.
right.
So we just figured there's no pavement, there's nothing there, there's no chip seal, nothing, boom. It's the justification of not assessing it was there.
Right, okay. So, yeah, so then we're gonna have to, we didn't have that into our budget then for our mills, but we went up the max we could, right?
Well, because if it's a special, does that get treated special then? Because the city's portion would be,
I think it's about 4,000 a year.
Yeah.
Is what it ends up being for the
that's
city.
what I.
And we raised 5, and I think we're getting like 2 or, so that's not even cover that. Okay, I was just wondering how that works, because we're
You
gonna.
guys gotta quit buying property.
We haven't since
Yeah, but I see the city of Gackle was at 58,735.
Over 20.
Total, so it's one over total.
What it would be.
I think we looked at it, I think it was about 4,000 a year, so I could be wrong.
Then at the end of all this, we're gonna have to pull out and put on the annual payment. Okay. All right. At least we got that covered then. All right, do we need to make a motion or do anything tonight?
Yep.
Or you guys got any more questions for them about that?
There's, you either reject it, modify the list, or approve the list would be your options. So,
And getting back to the repair of the streets, this isn't really repair, but I noticed over on my corner where the old street and the new street meet, there's a depression in that road, and now when it rains, there's just a big water puddle just sits there where the two streets meet. Now, is that gonna infiltrate down in underneath the road and cause a problem later on?
where, you know where that's at, Michael? We'd have to go look at where that's at.
Yeah, I can show you on the map.
live on the
Second
second.
Avenue, Cedar, Elm, would be right,
It's on the same
It would be
street as
right here.
so second.
see, you went,
Oh, second, yeah, we did.
It seems.
Yeah, so we went kind of like.
Inside back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right there.
Right?
This is
Yeah.
all-
it's right here.
Okay.
It's right in this
Corner,
corner.
Jay.
So it's,
A depression where they put sewer lines in and put new pavement in.
yeah,
And it meets, when it meets there, it
And
just
then-
leaves a little, and when it rains, it doesn't, only has to rain like a couple, 10 hundredths, and that full of water.
it's a dip on the old street
Yeah.
that's sitting there.
And it wouldn't be so bad, but it's right there at the seam,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where the two streets.
You know,
meet,
the only thing we could maybe do to fix that, basically what that street is, because of the settlement, it kind of turned into an inverted crown,
Mhm.
is what it did. The only way to really fix that is to fix this street,
Yeah.
you know? We could maybe blend some millings on the top,
I was
if
thinking-
there's a way we
If
can,
there's a way you can divert it, so it doesn't sit right where the seam is at.
yeah.
And I don't know if there's any more, I didn't, because you've got a cement
Yep.
across here, and that kind of takes care of that. And I don't think there's a depression down by your place, is there? I don't think so, so.
Yeah, we
I don't
can't,
know.
we can't put a valley gutter there in the middle of, we could look at, maybe we could put some fines in there
Yeah,
to try to make
Just
this.
something to divert it, to keep it away from that seam is what I was more concerned about, because that's someplace for it to get down.
But all valley gutters have seams too, Larry, and the water doesn't leak in them.
Huh?
All valley gutters have seams too, the pavement hits the cement.
Yeah.
There's a seam,
Yeah.
and water runs down the valley gutter, the water don't run in that seam.
That's true, but
But
this.
water sits, I understand
There's
that,
that much of a depression, and it sets right there.
understand that, but you're under the conclusion that the water's seeping in that seam.
I want to prevent it from happening down the road. 10 years from now, I don't want to have a big pothole there.
Yeah,
Chip seal will take care of a lot of that too.
Yeah.
we can maybe spread some fines in it when they're doing some of the patching. We can look at it. It's just gonna push the problem away a little bit. It's not gonna fix it.
Right,
the
yeah.
street is,
I mean, if it lasts 20 years, well, then there'll probably be other issues, and it won't be a big deal. I just didn't want to, 5 years down the road, have a pothole in front of the house, because
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
something could, if I don't know, maybe nothing can be done, I don't know, I'm just bringing it up.
Yeah, we'll go look at it.
Okay.
So,
Do you, Joel or Joe, you guys got any questions for us at all? or?
None whatsoever. I would like to comment about Moore Engineering was fantastic to work with.
Unbelievable compared to what the last time
They
was.
answered all our questions and did a lot of the assessment, a lot of the footwork and the whole deal. And we just kind of answered some questions they had and stuff, and it was a pleasure to work with them.
It's good to hear. Well, thank you guys. You guys did an excellent job.
I'm gonna say the same thing, working with them with money wise and this stuff. They're awesome.
No, we sure appreciate it from, you guys did a hell of a job too. You make sure you know that.
Thank you.
We just had a few questions when Lauren and I went through it, and I think we have them all answered, and it's moving forward there. And I think that was it for them, right? And you said we have to, what was our options?
you can reject the list, send it back to the committee, you can modify the list, or you can approve the list. Those are your options. So,
But actually, these, well, no, it's all been changed. You said that one,
Yes.
Etris Miller, that
Yep.
is included
Yep.
now.
Correct.
Please take it.
Yes, and we checked the list.
We had roughly 84 feet or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
22.
something like that, and I think that's gotta be pretty dang close.
And Jay Reed had a question, and that's that land behind my house, but that's not even on the, he said it was,
Yeah, we didn't put
that's
that
not
on.
even on there, I couldn't find it anywhere, and I haven't seen it since.
Right here.
Yeah.
Where that old, where Buck,
Down the alley, oh, this is right here, yeah.
where Buck used to have his
This
house.
here.
Where Bruce
It would
Buck,
be just to the north of Bill's there.
where Bruce
That-
Buck had his house.
Right here.
Yeah, it'd be to the south of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even on there, I couldn't find it, he was saying there's a
Yeah.
huge assessment, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Since it doesn't have, it's not on a street or anything.
We tried to be as fair as we could, I
You
think.
can
it
you can throw
says-
snow on it.
Lesson learned on that one, Joe. No, like I said, I thought you guys did a hell of a job, so.
yeah, assessments aren't an exact science. I mean, it's a lot of these guys figuring things out.
Okay. I say approve it myself. I've gone through it quite a
I'll
bit.
make a motion to approve the assessment list for the street replacement district 2020-1.
Okay, a second.
I guess I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, just need one signature since you approved it. The last
Thank you.
item we have is more engineering, an engineering invoice for the special assessment work and.
Thanks again.
Inspection work, so.
See you guys.
Thank you.
So engineering invoice, we have one for September. Invoice 28,136 for $15,356.55.
Is that?
That is the last page of your document, I think.
Okay. Looks good to me, I guess. I don't have a problem with that. Are there any questions on that one?
No. I'll move to approve. Engineering invoice. Yeah.
Invoice number 28136
Yep.
approved, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Last thing, we did forget, seeding. They're gonna get seeding in this year. They're gonna dormant seed, mulch. It's better because of the dry year, dormant seed in the fall. Hopefully we get some snow, get some moisture that come up in the spring. Got a lot better luck dormant seeding it late versus trying to seed it now or trying to seed it in the middle of summer. Just, grass is a pain. It's hard to get established. Obviously.
You gotta go meet Ann Zimmerman. She can grow grass, I swear, in 2 days. I don't know what she's got in her black bags, we gotta figure that out, because that's the secret. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, that sounds good, guys.
So, but that's still planned this year.
Okay, real good.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
That's it? Okay, thanks again for
Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, can I buy a copy of that map, the latest one?
I do not have one on here, but I will be back here in 2 weeks.
Okay, we'll keep moving on, and we'll go to Bill. Under city
Yeah,
maintenance,
that's-
water testing letter to residents. Is that,
Oh, here it is.
Just what we got here.
I don't know.
That was on the states, they're the one that messed up on the dates,
Yeah,
and
it's all.
there's a certain time frame that you have to do
Different lines and stuff.
samples, and give them 2 days to do
That's like they
samples.
will find.
Okay,
And they had the dates wrong on the paper that I got,
oh, sure.
so when I did the samples correct, they just had the dates wrong.
According to their dates you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
so, and then we just have to send out this letter to the residents to, I mean, there's nothing wrong with our water, so it's just, they're the one that messed up. We won't get-
this explains it, that it's their mistake and everything, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, perfect. And you're sending those our.
I'm gonna send them out with the monthly bills this
I assume
month.
that-
We have till November, the end of November to have this done. They gave us 3 different options, putting it to the residents in the letter is the best way.
Yeah, that's it.
And then if I put the 2 of them together, I save all the 22 set of stamps every year, so we're
Perfect.
just gonna print them out and send them to everybody. We could put it in the paper, but then we'd have to do other things too.
Yeah, no, that's, I would say the best way. Yeah.
We'll take that back.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I want you to do.
Now, we
I guess
just
we'll
want
look
you
at
to
that
know in
out.
case somebody asks you about it when it comes out,
Okay,
that the water is fine.
and then there's something else you were gonna bring up, sorry.
The garbage truck,
Oh, yeah, the garbage
we're
truck.
having issues with it not starting, the fuel is leaking back into the tank, or it's drawing air from somewhere. And I had Corey look at it from Double J. He replaced the fuel line in it, and there were 2, where it comes out of the tank and then into the second filter, there's 2 plastic clips or whatever that kind of holds it together, and they were loose. So he thought it was that, so you just replace the line with the regular fuel line hose. And it started the next day and then the day after that. Well, we let it sit from Thursday till Saturday, this past Saturday, and we couldn't get it started. So we pressurized the fuel tank like Corey and I did to get it started, to get it out at double J, and then it worked. So Corey was going to order the fuel line connections and a clear hose to put on each end, either the return line or the inlet line, to see which side is,
Sucking air.
sucking air or the fuel line is dragging back, draining back. He called me this afternoon and he can't get the parts. You can get the parts, but it's 5 to 7 weeks.
That sounds about right.
So he actually suggested we take it up to Butler and have them do it, because they'll have everything up there to do it at the shop. Which is gonna be expensive.
And timely.
Did you call Butler?
No, I didn't call Butler.
So if it came to that, we'd have to do the garbage with the dump truck and
It's either that or because when I did it the first time, I called Wishick to see what they would charge to come up and pick our garbage, or even if Tom and I were on the back and we just had one driver where they drove. And then they really didn't, wasn't real too keen on that.
so if we wound up doing it with the dump truck, we would expect everything to be bagged, no loose garbage in a garbage can, because what we're gonna do basically is throw the bags in the payloader bucket and then dump them in the back of the truck. We can't have loose garbage floating around and be blowing out all over town.
How the hell do we get that by Thursday morning and then everyone to comply with it?
Well, we'll still use the garbage truck on Thursday.
This Thursday, yeah, we'll get on it.
We'll just have to, I thought about maybe just starting it every other day or every day and just let it run for a while.
Our semi at the elevator does the same damn thing, so
Until
until find out.
Corey can get the parts. I told him I would let him know what we want to do with it.
And he can't get the parts.
Well, he can get them, but
But 7
it's
weeks.
5 to 7 weeks.
So our options are start it every day or else take it to Butler. I call them.
Yeah. I had it running yesterday and it started good.
Yeah.
If I started maybe every day, it would stay up.
And we have it up at the shop up there now instead of in the barn.
Right.
So,
I don't know what to say on that. Larry, you're a mechanic.
Take it to Butler, that's what they say. No, when can did they say did you talk to them at all?
Butler?
Butler, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
know with harvest,
yeah.
it's hard to say when they're going to.
Yeah, I'm sure a garbage truck isn't exactly on their front. I guess call them and see what they say.
I mean, if ever I can call that, what was that guy in Wishick that did?
He's south of Wishick there.
Beaver mechanic or.
Beaver Lake truck.
Yeah, or something like that.
That's where we took it when they put the new dash in, and they did a bunch of work on it down there.
Oh, what's the guy at Quality Repair? You know,
I tipped my tongue and I can't, Larson, Howard Larson.
Howard, they say
He's pretty good at it.
How could you forget Larson?
Them Larson, they're pretty good.
Oh, we can try there too.
Yeah, and Howard, he probably will help you out a little bit more. I mean, as far as trying to get it, I don't know how busy he is, but trying to get it in right away.
Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna just take the air hose to it and kind of blow it off and crawl underneath there, just take a wrench and just to see if there's a random fitting that comes loose or.
Now, when you start it, you've been starting it every day or every other day now?
Well, we started it this morning to get it up to the shop, but when we started it Saturday, and Warren started it Sunday, but from Thursday
To Saturday.
mid-afternoon to Saturday morning. It would run rough, but it was just like it was starving for fuel. Like it just couldn't.
No, it does. But when you start it every day, if you start it
If you start it every day, it starts up like.
fire it right off and no miss, no shoot, or nothing. Yeah, it's it definitely draining back somewhere. Because it takes a couple days, I'm thinking it's down the line somewhere. If it was close to the pump, it wouldn't take long at all, and they would have air in it, so. Gotta be down the line.
We changed
I kinda
the
tried
fuel filters on it.
So I got a transfer pump on it. I can't remember what I looked. Another pump,
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
it just sucks right off the injection pump then.
That's one thing Ardell mentioned was unless we put electric pump in.
Well, I was just gonna say, unless just to get by, a person would put a lip pump in between, so that when you turn the key on, you're getting pressure right in, right away.
Well, sounds like you just need to take it to Larry. He's got a plan.
Right,
Just solved it.
Did you get that done tomorrow?
You got till Thursday morning.
I've got 3 of them in there that's supposed to be done tomorrow. I got
That's
2019
what
Jeep
engine is
that
that?
ran out of gas and now won't start.
What did Corey say?
Won't
Put
crank.
some gas in it.
Won't crank or do nothing.
We should work up there.
Yeah.
We said it ran out of gas once, put some gas in it.
You know, maybe I would give Howard a call. Just ask Howard, he's probably running back before.
You know,
He always
If I think of
buys
it-
fireman raffle tickets, and he sees on Jamestown Department, he wants to set, he always sends them back when he wins.
Oh,
He's really a nice guy.
yeah.
if I think of it, I'll call them in the morning. I talked to them about different things throughout the years, I know them a little bit. No, we're not related, but
Well, I guess
So
that's.
who's making the phone call?
if I don't forget, I'll know.
I'll remind you.
Here,
So, Bill
write it on your head.
gonna remind Lauren, so he reminds me. And I'll remind you again.
Anything else for us, Bill?
I had that Nathan down there for North Dakota Rural Water looking for another water leak. And we got like the southeast corner of the east side of town eliminated as far as curb stops. And running into the sewer. There's a couple of them on that side I'm gonna check tonight yet. Maybe about 11:30 or so in the sewer.
Okay.
Just to see what kind of flow was in there. It was kind of hard, it was right at that 3-4 o'clock range.
Everybody's
School
running
was kind of
Yeah.
getting out and stuff like that, so.
Keep us
Check that out.
informed.
We did find that one down at Storbeck's, and that was on their side. Did you get the bill for that?
I did, and that's on my list to talk about.
Okay.
So we'll wait and get to him for 2 things at once, so
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? I know we gotta discuss your guys' raises. I don't know if we should do that with 2 of them missing, but I think to make it fair, whatever raises they get should start today. We told them that. Even if we don't get it to next month, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's, we've kind of screwed around long enough with that, so. But if that's.
We
okay
just
with you guys-
started our new pay period anyway,
Okay,
so.
yeah, so whatever raise you'll get, we'll make it right for this month, even though it's gonna start next, does that make, we'll just put it on the next checks or something, I guess, we'll see. I just would rather have everyone here for that. So if you guys are okay with that, I mean, it's up to you, but if not,
That's fine.
okay, it's gonna have to be, I guess.
Yeah,
No discussion.
We're not fighting about it.
Okay, is that okay with you guys, I guess? That's my recommendation, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we are, you called that Jeff today, right? About that,
Yeah.
trying to get a sensor up here instead of down at the ball house.
Because we're still having trouble with the VFDs wanting to ram. They were working good, and I don't know what's all going on. And one problem that always has been, we're sensing down there, right off the pumps.
You're talking way south of town? or-
Yeah.
But it's out by the yellow tank, the
Yeah, yeah.
holding tank.
Yeah.
It would have worked a lot better, and that was mentioned when we put it in even, but we didn't have time. Would be to sense right here at the base of the tower. So you don't have all these users or have sensing down there at the far end.
Right.
I called about a wireless, and this Jeff, the guy by the name of Jeff, and the company they work with does not have one. Because we gotta switch, the transducers are an analog system, or analog, and they don't have one that would work with that. He was gonna check with another company, and try to come up with a cost. I mean, before we do anything, let's get a cost, and that's what we were aiming for.
Yeah, we
Is
should,
this for water or sewer?
I was just gonna say, we're looking at that grant money.
We
that's
should
out there.
find out very shortly whether we get, our town was allocated for like 42,000. But I talked to a lady in Cullen today, we get half of it right away and then half of it next year. But we do have to get it approved by League of Cities before each project, so that it's gonna be, that we'd be able to legally use it that way. You can't do, oh, wait a minute, I think you gotta do new projects, you can't do repairs.
Okay.
Is that repair? Because that's what the
Well,
lady in
there's nothing
Cullen.
there though.
No, that'd be a new, that's new.
It's not
It'd be a new project, kinda, I mean,
The lady in Cullen told me they were trying, they just got 2 of them approved, and they thought at first one of them might be considered a repair. The grant is not for repairs, it's for new projects.
I don't see how that's repair, there's not one there, so.
Yeah, you're not
So that
fixing
makes sense.
something or replacing one, you're
So I guess-
just.
so I wonder, would, okay, replacing water meters,
Right.
to upgrade water meters to.
She told me she was pretty sure that's on there, to upgrade water
Would
meters.
be,
We definitely need to get some more of the newer ones, because our old ones are really,
They're bad.
we're losing for money wise for some people. They keep stopping and, I don't know, those old ones need to be replaced with something newer.
Roughly how many are we talking about? Those old ones?
We have to look it up. How many new ones do we
What's that?
have?
Maybe around that 200 range?
Oh, so, oh shit.
Ours are bad. Some people are going to get new ones now, and
$200
they're
bucks.
they're replacing the newer ones we have.
Are those pretty expensive for each?
So 200 up to 250 bucks would be,
Oh shit, yeah, that's a lot.
what, about 45,000
Yeah.
or 50,000?
And that's just.
Even if we did one side of town with
No, that's-
something and then try to get the other side, another time.
But that's just for the meters though, that's not for the new software you have to do and all that stuff. You know, especially if we go with these newer, the new Neptune ones like we have over.
That's what Cullen has, is the Neptune ones, and they're looking to replace those.
Okay.
The Neptune one, she said she can drive in front of the house and never have to get out.
Right. I mean, I mean, there are options, I mean, you can get it right, sent right to your phone. mean,
I know we looked into this before and it was.
That one grant, we would have had to put out 60,000 for it. We said with the street project, we couldn't afford to do that. But at least if we had that 40, we could probably do a portion of the town, at least get something, or get some of these old ones out of here.
What do you think of VFD, like you were talking cost per year?
The wireless,
Whatever he's talking here that we want to look at.
This is the style that I would go with. It's not digital, it's all mechanical stuff, which
You still have somebody walk around and that's,
don't, we've already had to replace a couple of the ones with, the census ones with the digital ones, because the battery went bad, and that one with David Black where they started, meter just started going crazy.
And these are 250 or these are more expensive?
These are right around that 250 range.
what kind of thing do they have on the outside of the house with this one? Does it have a meter thing?
It's same, not, It's the same concept as this, it's just,
VFD would cost, and you said you gotta get one of that prices.
Yeah,
you know, this is what's on.
I know earlier we did an irrigation system that way, and it was maybe, I don't remember, it was like $800.
Oh, you just got something to,
Yeah, there's a.
oh, so that's what I was thinking, like a ton of
It was, I was surprised that time, and we're sending a signal by mile, but being we're reading a transducer, that's where the catch comes in, you know. I don't know, I'm glad you do.
What, for getting it wireless? Because Cullum said they were having problems with it hooking the wireless up.
The other thing that, you know, I thought of later, if we could use this dial up here, you know where those little fingers are? And just have it send a wireless signal down to tell the VFD to run, period. And when it hits that top peg, it drops the signal and shuts her back down. That we probably wouldn't even need a transducer, really. We'd only need them if we're gonna deactivate the tower, and then we'd need that transducer down there to go back to what we did when we had all the issues with the riser pipe.
What we're doing now.
Yeah. And I didn't call Jeff back. So we'll look into it some more. I would say as far as grant, no, I don't think we should spend a ton of money to get that. Because it worked good for, what, 3 years? Now all of a sudden I think it's in the program, there's still a screw up in the program.
sure.
You know, everything really kind of stemmed from this spring when we had all that ice built up on our power lines, and we had so many power glitches this last spring.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of stems from. I mean, after that, you can kind of see the slow, gradual pattern starting to build up more and more. Besides Storbeck's. I mean, that was just.
Right.
Big voltage spikes up on an electron.
All right, well, yeah, we'll keep looking into that grant then and then figure out what we can do.
Well, she didn't send anything else back, so I must have had it.
So now that we're replacing old ones, that's not considered repair, that's new projects?
That's the products, because I talked to Lady Cullum, and she said, no, that would be considered.
You know, that's something we probably should use that grant for, would be to start trying to upgrade, even if we don't do the whole thing.
You know, even if
it's just the meters. I mean.
and we still have to walk around, that's not a big deal, but it's the ones that keep stopping, they're so old.
Or the ones that the numbers are so worn off them, you can't tell what they are.
Oh, I know. I'm ready to take fingernail polish to sell them.
200 of them?
A lot of fingernail polish.
Okay, yeah, we'll just keep looking into it, and hopefully we can get something done there.
Well, do we have to do an application for that grant? Now, you said we.
We already did it, it's already handed in. We did that, I finished that off last week, and then we should know here shortly. And they gave you half the money, like a lot of the other towns have just gotten all their money. They get, her Cullum, she was saying they give you half the net money this year, half the money in '22. But you definitely by '24 have to have that allocated to some project, or you have to give the money back. And then it's gotta be spent by, you gotta send the last thing in '26 that you spent all your money.
I don't think that's gonna be hard for 42,000.
Yeah.
I mean, just 250 piece, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Bill or Tom? All right, we'll go on to the auditor.
I just have the new final budget that's getting ready to get mailed off.
Is this the one
It's
that
the
you,
one with the levies up in there and everything.
this is the one that I looked at already, that you gave me?
Yes, I gave you that
There's
already.
nothing
No,
changed, okay.
no, this is the one, the very last one that Harold did since you gave me the mill levy up. Yeah, you wanted that one when it came in, so you probably already looked at it.
You know, like the general fund, on page 3 of Schedule B. You know, where it shows salaries and benefits. What is that? Total salaries and the benefit package? It'd be line 13.
Wrong page.
Scheduled. It's the,
See, I
Oh,
don't
page
know.
3 of the, oh, I see, I
I got
was
it.
looking at the way bottom.
That I don't know because, Harold did it all. He takes the information out of my computer. You would think it's higher than that.
you know, like we're paying a municipal judge and that's blank. Mayor's blank, auditor's blank. That's what confuses me.
That, I kinda thought the same thing, but he does all this and I guess I always thought he knows what he's doing.
Then when we go over to,
Well, then he's got professional fees on the
I was
same
gonna
page.
say that.
34,000 last year, now we're at 2,000 for the next 2 years. Right here.
I wonder if this was maybe would it's 2020 would include engineering? I'm not sure.
That maybe is what we had to pay, not more, the other one, Interstate. That was a big chunk we had to pay them to move on.
Probably. So actually Harold does this budget, huh?
Yeah,
The pilot for
he has done it since I came on board. I was learning so much new stuff that I wasn't gonna attempt this. You guys approved this last year for him to do them. Should I ask him that for you?
You know, I think we need to turn it in.
Well, it's gotta be in, because it usually in by the
So we don't
first.
have a lot of choice, but I think next year, especially if he comes, the first is gonna have to just try to have him explain some of this.
And it's hard to follow because last time he was here, he said he could put numbers in wherever the hell he wanted. So- And I mean, if that's the way it needs to be done, that's great, but at least we'd understand it. Because I read through this multiple times and there's things on here that I'd love to ask him too, but
You know, even like our sewer and garbage fund, I mean, it doesn't show up on here, if we're running red. I mean, how do we know?
that's why I was pushing to get that company to come in and tell us what we're at, what we're losing, what we're red, what we're. Because this to me, there's a lot of things on here that didn't make sense.
You know, the only thing I can figure out back on the income side of it, revenues, he thought it was for 42,000 in property tax. Then the state aid distribution, you know, that would be separate from the mill levy. So I don't know how he comes up with this.
Seeing the beer and liquor license wouldn't be that high now either. I don't know, he just takes my computer and puts all the information into his and then he comes back and sends me this. Your governing board, I bet you that's what's got all your mayor and your city council.
I would guess, right. Oh,
And maybe just the salary and benefits, well, no, it would be more than 45.
because what do we get?
147 times a year.
50? Well, that should even be more.
Or 4 times a year. January, February, March.
See, we get it 4 times a year and it's 1250, so that's about
4 times a year you guys get paid.
5,000 instead of 2940. I don't think we have any choice. I'll make a motion, or you got any questions, Larry?
No, I just glad we went up with the levies.
I'll make a
Just start
motion
that
to
ball rolling.
approve the budget.
Okay, Lauren, second.
I'll second.
Larry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it goes in the mail tomorrow, so.
You just signed this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Son.
I told you, I don't like all this, I don't know what I'm saying.
So you got the League of Cities behind you, you're fine. All right, moving on, Taylor's not here.
And he had nothing anyway.
Okay. Larry, you got anything?
Jeff, I didn't have anything.
Lauren, you good? Okay. Old business, a dip in front of Larry's house, that we got. Permit for Lori Lang, windows, new furnace, that was approved, kitchen cabinets, new flooring. Okay, new business, city permits.
You have the two right in front of you.
Dwayne Nelson is doing new kitchen and bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and Gary Holst.
Gary Holst is the one that bought the house, Robert Nystrom's, right next to Kevin's old house.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the south there.
He's
Okay.
refinished the whole basement, he put a new, and he's doing the work himself, so he's got a whole new bathroom, a bedroom, a rec room.
Okay, I don't see a problem. Motion to approve those?
I make a motion to approve the building permits and the raffle permits.
Okay, second, Larry?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
That's for the city permits and the raffle,
Yeah.
Right.
okay?
Okay, so then we'll move to Storbeck's house water and D-wall bill for water break on their side.
Okay, here's your bill here for the water break, it is, and I suppose this, y'all want the city to go ahead and pay it right away? Because somebody's gonna have to get him in here and probably do a payment plan for him, because that's $817. He's in trouble with water anyway right now.
What's it still losing water? Is that the same thing or is that a different?
No, we're talking about Storebecks.
Yeah, that's not with his though? No, still,
Yeah.
okay.
This is for Storebecks.
Yeah, I just,
And the city is gonna have to pay D-Walls, because Storebecks aren't gonna have the money. So we're gonna have to try to figure out a payment plan for them or something.
what have we done in the past?
It's always been in the past, if it's on the consumer side of the curb stop, it's their responsibility.
I just mean like for payment wise.
Boy, we've never run into that issue, we just billed it over to the people and, you know, we paid it to D-Walls, to my knowledge, always.
We'd have to.
And then we turn around and bill the people for it.
Okay, so but before I can do that, I just sent them a shut-off notice. If you look on your shut-off list, and they've only sent me a partial payment, I was supposed to go shut the water off. He called, he said he hadn't paid, well, he sent me partial payment. Well, I do need to make sure it goes through the bank, because last month's got sent back to us. So,
Oh boy.
so how are you gonna get 800 out of them when we can't get the water bill right now? It's something y'all have to figure out.
I don't know that one because we do not want to open up a can of worms with monthly payments.
Well, what he'll do is he said he gets paid once a month, so now, he was doing good for quite a while, but now he got behind. They'll send 150 so that whatever the bill was, the rest goes towards his arrears. But the bad thing there is you're getting $25 late fee a month. So you really don't catch up too quick.
I don't know, any suggestions?
And he's always been late though, hasn't he? Or has he been pretty
He
good?
did good over the summer. Yeah, I think more in the summer he does really good. It's the winter months, you know, his job that, I guess, I don't know. He was always, this first summer he's been really good. But he only paid the last one, and sent back to me, so now it's,
The only
4 months of payments.
advantage we would have, if we talk to him and say if he could pay $50 a month towards that $800 bill. But he does not dare go delinquent, because if he does, we're gonna put it on at the end of the year, we'll stick it on the taxes. We can send it to the courthouse, I think.
yeah, that one can. As part of the water.
So not, as long as he keeps his end of the bargain, that would just be another 50 over the top of the regular monthly usage.
That's up to you guys, I just.
Maybe table until next month. I'm gonna pay the boat bill regardless.
You know what we could do, we
150.
could table it till next month, it wouldn't kill us to pay D-Walls,
Okay,
carry the $800 bill. I know him, I could go talk to him.
should I make you a copy of that?
I'm more than willing to, I just think if we're not getting the 150, now we're asking for 2. Which, I mean, it's fair, I have no problem working with him, I'm just saying, I don't want it to be a,
Well, he did
Right,
good,
right,
he did
right.
good sending the 150, but then he missed paying a couple payments this summer, to the last couple months.
I mean, we could try it, I say table it and maybe get,
You know, we'll talk to him and see what he does, and see what he says, you know. I wouldn't offer him the payment plan right away, maybe you just say this is what the bill is and see what he says.
get his input, what he thinks is fair, and then we can have the other councilman here.
I'll make
You know,
it.
make a decision, I mean, we can't put it on his taxes now either way, it's not.
Right.
It's not delinquent, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be anyway. That's what we need. Okay. Maybe we'll do that instead of making just a decision on the spot here, because I didn't know it was.
Yeah, I move we just table it till next
Okay,
month.
I'm good with that.
What? And I'll give you this copy of this so you can talk to him and show him what the bill is.
Okay. 'Cause I don't think we should deviate from the policy, that's the problem.
You know, these are looking pretty damn good, so, yeah.
If we deviate from, not charging him, but it's on his side of the curb stops.
Well, you have to, we just charged another person for that, right?
Yeah.
Right, there's a copy of it. And I'll go ahead and pay this.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, we must have covered the still losing water, that must have been what you're talking about earlier. so-
Yep, that was his.
All right, if you guys have a chance to look at the bills then also. How is the city of Jamestown treating us with their garbage? Is that still going good?
Oh, yeah. that's what
We haven't gotten fined for anything or?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know, is that a letter you?
No, we're pretty picky on what goes in there, you know.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
good. Keep it up.
Move to approve the bills.
Okay, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. The date and time of next meeting, Monday, November 1st at 7 PM. Is everyone good with that?
For me,
Alright, motion to adjourn.
I move.
Lauren, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
What time is it? 7.
7:56.